Mrs. Morgan Dakota, and we're here to talk to you guys today about college prep, how to get started, and how to maintain your motivation here with us at the Keystone School. So, again, just so that you guys can put some faces to names and grab our contact information if you guys would like, please feel free to screen grab this if you'd like with our contact info. Um, but we're here today to help you guys get ready for some college prep.
So today we're going to be talking about, and this is Mrs. Dakota from the guidance office, finding your footing at the Keystone School and getting yourselves all set up for success. I'm going to go over a roadmap to graduation as it pertains to making sure you have a post-high school plan that's going to get you into either the military, a trade or technical school, onto a four-year university, so that you have a destination after high school. We'll talk about defining your goals, maintaining motivation. We'll then show you a contact list so you can get in touch with us and other people here at Keystone, and we'll answer any questions. So the very first thing I want to talk to you about is finding your footing as a Keystone student. The Keystone Guidance course. Every full-time student at Keystone has this course in their homeroom, and you may be wondering what it is. It is a place for the school counselors and I to put very important school counseling information right in front of you. You have access 24/7, 365 on-demand school counseling information. There are no assignments in the course. You don't earn any kind of high school credit for reviewing the information, but it has everything you need to make sure you can formulate a post-high school plan. We've got college application information, information about scholarships and financial aid, information about Tallo, which is a wonderful resource I'll talk more about in a little bit. And we can also provide you with course recommendations. So after 8th grade, when you're going into 9th grade, we can help you with that, or we can help you throughout every year of high school. Something else you have in your online homeroom is the Keystone Online Learning course. If you are new to Keystone, it's really something that you need to take a look at. It's going to provide you with everything you need to be a successful online student at Keystone. It's going to help you with navigating Brightspace, how to submit assignments for grading, how to contact your teachers, how to reach out for help. So it's going to give you all the information you need to move forward with your courses. We also have established for our students in the high school program the Acadium Dual Enrollment Program. And what this is, the Keystone School has partnered with a company called Acadium. They buy up seats in online college classes in colleges all over the US so that you can enroll in a college course and earn college credit while you're still in high school. You have to be a sophomore or older, and you have to have a 3.0 GPA in order to take advantage of Acadium, but you can order the courses just like you do a Keystone course. My colleagues and I in the guidance department would talk with you and your parent or guardian about which courses would be appropriate for you, but you actually can earn college credit and high school credit at the same time. We also have the support app, and as students, you're used to using the student app. We want to make sure that parents, guardians, the adults that you live with at your house are aware of the support app. They can view student information about you just like you can view it. So they'll know your course due dates. They'll be able to apply extensions if you need a course extension. They can help you out, contacting a teacher if that's an issue. And they can also look at and pay your tuition. So important stuff that will establish a good foundation for you while you're here at Keystone. So the roadmap to graduation, what are the important things you need to be doing each year as a college-bound Keystone student. Freshman year, review that Keystone guidance course. If you are undecided, and most freshmen are, as to your post-high school plan, not sure about a career choice, not sure which way you want to go, we have a great program called Choices 360 that's available in the Keystone guidance course. What this is going to help you do, you can register and set up an account in Choices 360, and there are all kinds of tools in there to help you. You can take a look at your interests. You can take a look at your talents, your skills, your abilities, and match them up with your interests and get a realistic list of potential careers. One of the counselors, myself or my colleagues in the guidance office, we can help you take a look at that and start with that career and then work backwards to see what your post-high school training needs to be. So do you need to go to a trade or technical school? Do you need to go to a four-year college or university? Do you need an advanced degree after a four-year college degree in order to do this career? But we can get you set up with all the pieces in place to make sure you can reach whatever that career goal is. We also ask our students to think about making a Tallo account. So our parent company, Stride K-12, has partnered with Tallo, has partnered with that company, and we offer it to our students. Instead of our students having to go out there when they're maybe, looking for money for college or looking for study abroad opportunities or part-time employment, just about anything, you can create a Tallo account and put in your skills, your abilities, your talents, your goals, and those opportunities will come to you. So instead of you having to, search for scholarships all over the place, search for colleges that have your major, search for internships or work study experiences or things like that. If you make an account on Tallo and put in everything that you're interested in, those opportunities will come to you. When we first started working with Tallo, I made an account acting like I was, a sophomore high school student. And I think I got something like 300 opportunities to review. So it doesn't cost anything. Tallo doesn't sell your information to other companies. So you're not going to get, spammed with email from anybody. Super duper worthwhile, in my opinion. So I really encourage our students to take advantage of it. One of the great things that comes from Tallo are scholarship opportunities for college. Something else that we recommend for our students is to start getting involved. If you want to go to college, they're going to look to make sure you were involved in things in high school, because they know that if you were involved in clubs, community service, something in your community while you're in high school, you're probably going to do that in college. And students who do that and become involved in the college community have a higher chance of graduating and being successful in college. So we encourage you to start that in high school. We have lots and lots of clubs. And if you can get in touch with me or Ms. Blosser, if you have a question about a club or if you want to start a club, we can also help you do that. But very important to get involved either at Keystone or in your community, starting with freshman year. You also want to keep your grades up. The grades you earn freshman year are going to establish your GPA. Once you have a low GPA, it can be difficult to raise it. So we want to make sure that you do your very best. Reach out to teachers when you have questions about an assignment or course content. If there's something you don't understand. If you think you need a tutor, you can let us know. Stride has a tutoring program set up, and the teachers are familiar with our courses and all of our assignments. So there is an additional fee for the tutoring, but we can make sure that you get a tutor if you need it. We also recommend that you get course recommendations for the next year. There's information in the Keystone Guidance course about setting up an appointment with a school counselor and meeting with me or one of my colleagues. We can get you set up for course recommendations. We also have them listed in the guidance course, so that information is there and you can review it. So make sure that you're taking the appropriate courses. Sophomore year, again, take the most rigorous high school courses you can. We offer typical college preparatory level courses. We also have honors courses. We have advanced placement or AP courses, which are equivalent to a college course. And then we have that Acadium dual enrollment program. Those are actual college courses. And I always tell our students, nothing is going to show a college or university that you can be successful at the college level than having already earned a good grade in a college course before you're even in college. So just something to think about as you go into sophomore year or beyond. At this point, sophomore year, 10th grade, it's also a good time to start getting familiar with college admission requirements and start going on college websites and looking to see what they expect. We have information on how to do that in that guidance course. Again, sophomore year, we encourage you to meet with a counselor, talk over your plans, your thoughts about the future, get a graduation audit, make sure that your course progression, your timeline, you're good to go. Talk about maybe taking the ACT or the SAT. So those are the US college entrance exams. Before the pandemic, they were just about mandatory for every college and university in the US. During the pandemic, they were suspended because nobody could take the tests. And at this point, most colleges and universities are test optional. You do not need to have an ACT or SAT score to be admitted. I tell students, if you're a great test taker and you have about 6 months to prepare to take one of those tests, and you can get a prep course, do so and then take the test. Make sure you check with the colleges you're looking at to see if the test is mandatory or if it's optional. And that is something, again, I and my colleagues can talk to you individually about, but just be aware that those tests are out there. You can prep for them. They're not online. You'll take them in, and you can take them on the computer, but you will take them at a local brick and mortar school in your area. It's also a good time to start looking at summer camp ideas. And these aren't always the typical summer camp where you're literally camping and swimming and doing arts and crafts. There are all kinds of academic summer camps put on at colleges and universities all over the US. And there are also camps for different artistic endeavors, music camps, and things like that are going to give you more information. You can go to workshops, and that may give you a leg up and a little boost in the college application process. Moving on to junior year or 11th grade, again, meet with a Keystone counselor, set up that one-on-one appointment. We'll give you a call and we'll talk over everything. Junior year is when you're going to start to research colleges and scholarships. And that's when that Tallo account can come into play. And you can start taking a look at various scholarships that you may qualify for. Many of them involve writing essays. That's one thing that I do, especially this time of year as our seniors are applying to college. I review essays. So we have people here that can help you with that. Junior year, the fall of junior year or the spring of junior year is when you're going to want to register and take either an SAT or ACT. So again, just more about building awareness at this point and knowing that those tests are out there. At the end of your junior year, you're going to want to finalize your list of colleges and also schedule visits. Most students attend a college in their geographic area or within a couple hours of where they live. So if at all possible, when you get to junior year in the spring or the summer before senior year, you want to schedule a visit. And the reason that's important, there's something called demonstrated interest in the college application process. And what that means is if you go to a visit day at a college, and you can go on a college website and see when their high school visit days are, and you'll register and you'll show up. They'll tell you where to go in the morning. You can go with your family or with friends, and they will keep a record that you visited, that you physically took time out of your day, you traveled there and you visited. And when you apply, they're going to check their list and they're going to say, hey, wait a minute, Morgan Dakota is now applying. Well, she made an effort and visited here, talked with our professors, found out about our programs. That's going to give you a boost in the college application process. They also usually give you some free swag if you do that. So you might get a t-shirt or something like that out of the visit. Junior year is when you're also going to start to request letters of recommendation. Not all colleges require them, but many do ask for, at a minimum, a counselor letter of recommendation. So I would write that, or one of the other counselors would write that on your behalf. They're also going to want maybe one or maybe two teacher letters of recommendation. So the teacher letters of recommendation, usually we advise our students to get a letter of recommendation from a teacher in a subject that aligns with your college major. So if you want to major in social media marketing, we're going to encourage you to take our marketing course and have our marketing teacher write your letter of recommendation. If you want to major in biochemistry with perhaps a career goal of going on to the medical field, you're going to want to get either the biology or chemistry teacher to write that letter of recommendation. Again, something that I and the other counselors can advise you about. All important senior year. So if you don't follow a traditional school year, but say you're enrolling with us in March and you're wrapping up your courses in February, we encourage our students when they get into 12th grade to make sure you are kind of acclimated to the US school year. So we're going to encourage you to enroll in your courses in August or mid-September at the latest, and then complete those courses by May, June, or July the following year, because you are then going to be attending college either in August or September of the end of your senior year. So you kind of have to start to follow that traditional school US school year so that you can get in the groove for the college application process. Colleges are going to expect you to have graduated usually no later than July 15th so that you can attend in the fall. So we're going to make sure that other counselors and I are going to reach out, maybe set up a phone call, send us an email. We're going to make sure that you are in all the courses needed to graduate, because when you apply to college, we're going to send them your Keystone transcript. They're going to want to see that you have completed high school up until senior year. Those are your only active courses, and you're enrolled in all the credits needed to graduate. We're going to help you finalize your list of colleges. We recommend 5 to 7 colleges. Every year, though, we have students who apply to 15 or 20. There is an application fee with every college you apply to. It can be anywhere from $25 to $75, $80. So if you're applying to 15 or 20 colleges, that can get really pricey really quickly, and that can be a big credit card bill to pay. So we recommend 5 to 7 courses or 5 to 7 colleges at a maximum, and we can help you compile that list. You would have an opportunity to take the ACT or SAT in the fall. They offer August, September, and October testing dates. So if you took it maybe in the spring of junior year, you weren't happy with your scores, you want to prep a little bit more and take it again, there is time to do that in the fall. We also ask that you're mindful of application deadlines. They can sneak up on you. College applications are usually released to 12th graders, to seniors, right around August 1st. The first deadlines start occurring in mid-October, then in November, December, January, February. You want to be mindful because you need to have those letters of recommendation in place, and you need to give teachers and counselors about 2 weeks to write those letters. So you want to make sure you're on the correct timeline. Again, you want to keep your grades up. There is a virus that goes around among 12th graders every year, and maybe Ms. Blosser remembers it from high school. I remember it from high school. It's called senioritis. And what happens in the spring of your senior year, you can be tired of being a student, right? You can get a little weary and you can let your grades drop, or you can take a break. At Keystone, it's easy to take extended breaks, but we recommend, you don't always do that, especially senior year. You have a steady schedule of submitting assignments for grading, and you do your very best and keep your grades up. It is not unheard of for a college to admit a student based on the grades 9th, 10th, and 11th, right? Because that's what they're going to see when you apply the fall of your senior year. But we have to send, as school counselors, my colleagues and I, we have to send colleges something called a mid-year report in the middle of your senior year. And they want to know what your grades are in the middle of your senior year. And the reason they want to know that is because they are also aware of senioritis, that can be a problem with students, that they maybe let their grades drop off because they're already accepted to college. And I have seen, not at Keystone, but at a public school I worked at, where a college will tell a student, we're rescinding your offer, your acceptance, your offer of admission to our college because you're failing all your courses. You're not showing the commitment to your education that we need to see. So very important to stay consistent. Complete your FAFSA. And you might wonder what the FAFSA is. The FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid. This is something run by the federal government. It's free to submit. And this is going to determine whether you are eligible for grants through the federal government, through loans through the federal government, and also is used by colleges and universities to determine whether you'll get financial aid from the financial aid office at the college or university. That's something, I and my colleagues in the guidance office, we help students with that every year. Private colleges and universities have an additional document called the CSS profile, and we can definitely help you complete that too. This, in this webinar, it's more about letting you know that these things exist and are part of the college application process. The very last thing you're going to do when you graduate is you are going to have to send your final transcript to your college upon graduation. They need to see proof that you've graduated. They want to see the graduation date on your transcript, and we make it very easy for you to send it. There's information in the guidance course. You can email us in the guidance department, and we will make sure it's super duper easy to send. So we can definitely help you out with that. Think about any questions you might have about what I've just covered. I know it's a lot of information. It's more, like I said, for awareness. We can have one-on-one conversations with any or all of you at a later time to go over the specifics. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Blosser to talk about the rest of this presentation.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with all of that in mind, one of the big things that's going to help you in terms of being successful in your courses, being successful in these uh, graduation checklists, is setting and defining goals for yourself. So, when we talk about goals, you might think, your primary goal in attending Keystone is graduating college or graduating high school. Sorry. Um, and so the important thing here is to break that up. So when we talk about overarching goals, they're those big picture goals. I want to graduate high school with a 4.0 GPA. That's your overarching goal for your time here with us. Um, and within those overarching goals, you can create long and short term goals. And doing this is super important because when we talk about maintaining motivation here at Keystone, one of the best ways that you can motivate yourself through intrinsic motivation is by completing these goals, being able to celebrate successes that you have. Because at the end of the day, one of the things that keeps us as human beings wanting to move forward is, that positive progression, that feeling that you're proud of yourself and that you're doing good. And so making these overarching goals and setting them up is very important. And with that, you also want to set within that your long term and short term goals. And the earlier parts of the presentation, where Mrs. Dakota went through and outlined what you should do, those are great places to start as, long term and short term goals. A great short term goal is in my first semester of English 9, I want to score a 95%. And that's something that you can check off that you did. Um, and again, making sure that those are there to help support you in your overall journey. Uh, it also makes things feel less overwhelming. You know, you may be starting out here as an 8th or a ninth grader and being like, "Oh my gosh, this is so much stuff that I have to do." But being able to break it up into tiny things that you can take piece by piece will make you feel successful and make you feel less overwhelmed moving forward. One of the best ways that I personally like to track these goals is in an Excel spreadsheet. So I will put my overarching goal at the top. Um, for myself, it might be something like um, reorganizing my storage space, which is a lot of stuff, and then being able to break it down. For you guys, it might be completing my freshman year. And so you have, I want to finish my English course, my math course, my science course, and my history course. And then you would create your sub goals, which would indent from there. And again, it can help break things down, make things easier, and also give you that sense of accomplishment when you finish them. It can also help us in helping you, being able to say, these are my goals for this year. This is where I am. This is where I want to be. It makes it much easier for myself or for our wonderful guidance department to be able to say, okay, that's great. And with those clear goals in mind, it's easy for us to help you navigate to those, especially if you're feeling stuck or, again, overwhelmed. And this ties right into maintaining motivation. As Mrs. Dakota said, and as I'm very well aware and definitely remember from both high school and college, senioritis is definitely a thing. And so making sure that you're maintaining that motivation is super important. And again, as you can see in the photo here, I like to think of them as steps that you take to continue progressing forward. And that first step is laying the foundation. These are my goals. Again, it might start with, finishing each of the school years with sub goals in each. And that's great. The next one is to make use of your support system. Your support persons at home are wonderful. I tell students all the time, if you set goals for yourself, if your goal is I want to submit 15 assignments each week, it might be hard to hold yourself to that, if you're having a bad week or if you're not feeling well or if you just decide you don't want to do work. Um, being able to have somebody outside that can check in on you and say, "Hey, I logged in and I see that you haven't submitted anything in 3 days. Is everything okay? Do we need to schedule a conference together with the guidance department or with the SSAs?" Um, to have somebody out there that can support you because we don't want you to feel like you're all alone. And then again, you're always able to sign up for one-on-ones with myself and the other SSAs and the guidance department for that support. So if you're feeling a little lost or not sure where you can go, or if your support person has questions, making use of your entire support system is such a great step. And then you want to check in on your progress, check in on your goals. Um, how am I doing? If your goal is that you want to finish your first semester courses before December, how are you looking here in October? Are you at about the 25% mark? Because you should be that or a little or 50% mark. You should be that or a little bit further. And so being able to see that. And again, if you're not sure yourself of where you should be, you can check in with us or with your support person, and it'll give you a little bit more perspective. And then finally, I always emphasize celebrating successes. I know a lot of the time when we talk to students who are frustrated or are feeling really behind, one of the things that I really like to do with students is to emphasize and celebrate when they do things well. You just turned in your term paper for the first semester. That's awesome. I know that that's a big deal and that's a lot of work that you did. And making sure to take the time for yourself, even if it's just, like a quick 30-minute walk or watching a YouTube video of your favorite content creator to be able to celebrate those things is super important because it could then uh, gives you that push to keep going, to reach your next milestone. And so making sure to celebrate successes, not just being like, all right, that's another thing done. Let's keep moving. Because eventually it does get exhausting and you'll want to take a breath. And then the last thing that we have here is our contact list. Again, making full use of your entire support system is super important. So, the student success advisors are here for help with pacing, scheduling, motivation, and organization. We have a live Q&A session on Tuesdays that you can always join us for. I'm always so excited when students pop in. We sometimes do screen shares if you guys have questions about where to find things, or if you're having issues, we can always screen share together to make sure that everything is good to go. We also have the teacher link, who are there to help with course content, assignment questions, and grading concerns. You can always find them in your courses. I cannot emphasize enough that the teacher link are there to help support you guys. I know it can sometimes feel scary reaching out to people in the school, but I promise you that we are all here to support you, and we're not going to make you feel foolish or silly for your question. It's normal to have questions. You're learning new things, and so if you don't understand something, reaching out and saying, I don't understand this concept is a perfectly valid thing to ask for help with. So if you need it, always feel free to reach out. And then our student support team are here for help with transferring or withdrawing courses. They help with helping you enroll in your next courses after you get course recommendations from our wonderful guidance department. And they also help with technical issues. So if you're having difficulties with something, if you need extensions, if something doesn't seem to be working right, student support is a great place to go. And they're available Monday through Friday for you guys to be able to call in for assistance. And I know that Mrs. Dakota went over the guidance department and all of the myriad of things that they can help with. They're really wonderful. And just like the SSAs, they have one-on-ones each week for you guys to be able to hop into, as well as the live session every week. Again, please feel free to utilize our time. Feel free to email us, give us a call. It's really what we're here for, and we're here to help support you guys through these things. So be sure to send us emails or give us phone calls. We really love hearing from you guys and being able to help you and your progression through your high school experience here. With that, I'm going to open the floor to questions from you guys. You can have them for either Mrs. Dakota or myself. I am going to stop the recording though, so that if you guys have questions, we can get into them here for you guys. So whenever you're ready, you can hop on the mic or type them in the chat.